Let's demonstrate what has changed in online maintenance. We'll take a look at the validate button being removed. The post process. The post button validates first, then post. Data is not instantly posted. You have to go to the view submission screen to monitor the job. And for a primary key, you have to delete and then add a new record. So let's click on open to open the modal. The student enrollment modal opens. And at first glance, you can see there are some changes. This enrollment start date, grayed out. That means that they're primary keys and they cannot be edited. The other change that you will notice is there is no validation button. There's only the post button. The post button is combined with the validation button to submit the information to the ODS. So when you click the post button, it will validate first, and then once it validates, it will submit the data to the ODS for further validation. Now let's go into the demographic and make a change. So we'll click on open. You'll see the modal is the same. You have your post button. Because it's the demographic, the modal has a delete button. If you have multiple records, a delete button will appear also. So let's make a change really quick. Let's add the student's race. The guardian level has to be answered. And you want to make sure all the indications are done. Then we can click post. You see the indication for posting is checking to see if it can be submitted as a batch
We are
file.
back on the student details screen. The information we entered in the record is not showing posted. Here are the file submission status and definitions.
When you post in online maintenance, it doesn't post immediately to the ODS. It goes through stages. So what you would do is you will have this indication comes up to view submission details, right? You can take that and go to view submissions. And you can see the status changing here by hitting F5. Posting. You can also go into view submissions here and see the status change. We submitted SINF information. It's saying posting. So if we hit F5 again, it's now saying posted. And if we go back to our student details record, we will see that the information that we entered is now in CalPADS. So now let's just refresh the important things that we need to keep in mind about the student data modal changes. The gray fields, not editable. Data is not instantly posted. The validation button has been removed. The post button is combined with the validation button to submit information to the ODS. And data is not instantly posted. A batch file is created and placed in the queue along with the other batch files. Now that we've completed the process of editing a record, let's go add a program record to reinforce what we've learned. So we'll click on Add New Record. The modal appears, and notice there's no delete button here because this is the first program records being added. And let's add a free price meal. We'll go to the School of Attendance, and then we'll go and add the free price meal. The start date, we're going to say started at the beginning of the year. And then we'll click post. Remember, when we click post, it's not posting, it's validating and then submitting to the ODS to the file submission. And it gives you this indication that it passed, it was successfully sent to the ODS. Then we click on view submission. It takes us to the view submission details with the three cards at the top, and it says staging. We hit refresh. It's now at validating. We'll hit refresh again. It's now posting to the ODS. We'll hit refresh again. And now we see that the information has been posted to the ODS. We can verify by going back to our student's details record. And as we scroll down to the student program, we can see that the free meal program has been posted with the start date of 8/10/21. Now let's do the student program record. Click open, the modal opens, and you click the delete button. You have a choice. Are you sure you want to delete this program record? Yes, we're sure. Posting, same process. Staging process, it goes to the view submissions again, standardize, validating. Now it's posting, and now we see the delete has been posted. And we can verify by going back to the student details and scroll down to student program, and we see the record has been deleted. We are now on the student 9's student details record. Let's try adding an enrollment record. If you leave out any of the asterisk fields, it will generate an error. So if we go ahead and place in school of attendance, we're going to forget to put in the local student ID. He's still going to be in the second grade, and the start date is the same start date, August 9th, 2021. All the other information is there, and we'll click post. It immediately comes back and says it's validated an error, and we left out the local student ID. That's a required field. So let's go in and place in the local student ID. So we corrected that, and we're still primary, and all the other fields are the same, and we'll click post. The validation states it is successful. What that means is has taken the data that we've entered and placed it up against the ODS for verification. So what we would do is, remember, success means it's successfully sending the data up to the ODS for verification, not that the data is correct. So if we go to the file submission data, we would then see that the file has been rejected. It's given us a SENR 0027, multiple primary enrollments within the LEA. So when we go back to the student details page, remember, success means the data has just been successfully sent to the ODS. It doesn't mean it's been posted to the ODS. And because the file is rejected, when we go back to the student details, you will see that the file has not been added. So let's recap what we just did. We added a program record to the student details. We filled out the elements, and then we clicked post. By clicking post, it's submitting the record change to be validated and then placed the changes in the posting queue for the status. That's when you see the posting. And then it brings up the view submission details. One of the most common areas where change needs to be made in online maintenance is the enrollment start date. The date was entered incorrectly, so it needs to be changed. But for start date, you must delete the record and add a new record reflecting the change. You cannot delete the start date in online maintenance. This is because if the primary key needs to be changed, you must delete the record first and then add a new record reflecting the changed primary key. The enrollment start date is a primary key. This ends the online maintenance changes overview. For more detailed instruction, you should attend the online data population training.